Hi, welcome to my channel, According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we going to be making today? Okay guys, this will be a best of video. These are some of my favorite farmhouse DIYs using some Dollar Tree products. This one is a cloche. I also made these really nice farmhouse beads. I move on to my tiered tray. And last but not least, a couple of my favorites, the 3 hanging baskets along with that really cool lantern. If you want to know how to make these, please stay tuned. So if you'd like to know what supplies I've used, please check out the description box below. And with all that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, DIY number 1, Dollar Tree cloche. So the first thing I did was I took these burner covers from the Dollar Tree, this Waverly Chalk Paint in ink, which is a black, and I gave it a good coating. Both the larger and the smaller of the 2 burner covers. I gave them 2 coats once the first one dried. This is a candle holder from a local thrift store for 99 cents. I gave that 2 coats as well. I got this little wooden knob that I had lying around along with that lid from a tin can, and I also covered those as well. If you look in the left bottom corner, you will see one of those hanging planters from the Dollar Tree, and I just took off the chain that was connected to it, and I didn't need to paint that because it was already black. Once I gave everything 2 coats and waited for them to dry, I was ready to move on. So if you take this hanging planter and put it right inside of that burner cover, it fit perfectly, snug as a bug. I can even pick it up and it will not go anywhere. So it worked out just perfectly. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking some E6000 and some hot glue, and I was planning on just putting that lid right on like that, and it did not hold at all. It was sliding all over the place. So I wanted something that would kind of attach it quicker. So I took some Dollar Tree super glue, and that did the trick. So I just peeled off what was on there. I take this instant super glue. It sets up very quickly. And I took a little hot glue, just a little bit, just to hold it, you know, right away. And I just held it on there, and that's what did the trick. So I'm using that same super glue, a dab of the hot glue, and I'm just going to put on the wooden knob. Did use the same super glue for the bottom along with some hot glue. And I'm just going to invert this so I get a good center. And there you go. And look how easy this was. I'm just going to put this right on top just to show you how it fits right in, and it's perfect. Now I'm going to style it for you. So I just take this greenery garland from Hobby Lobby, and I think this is a great way to get a lot of greenery for a good price because you get those half off. I'm just taking this boxwood and wrapping it around from the Dollar Tree a candle. So yeah, that's easy and it's beautiful. So I'll just show you how it's set up here on the entryway table. I loved how this turned out. Okay, DIY number 2, farmhouse beads. The first thing I did was I took these Hobby Lobby wooden beads and I put them on 2 skewers. Now, the first skewer I am going to paint white with the Waverly Chalk Paint in white. The second skewer, I'm going to add a little tinge of brown to it just to give it a natural look. I didn't want them to be like brown, white type of thing, but I wanted a variation of color. This is very watered down. It's my truffle paint, and so it really didn't give me that much of a hue. I added just a tad bit to give me some variation. So the second beads I took off the skewer because they worked a little better for me. The first skewer just was rolling all over the place. Speaking of rolling all over the place, I take this string from the Dollar Tree and I am wrapping it around something just to make my tassels. I realized, let me put this in something so that it stays in one place while I wrap, and that worked out so much better, and I was able to move so much quicker. So I wrap it around a whole bunch of times, and if you want to be even for both tassels, just count how many times you wrapped it around. I might have done it like 70 times or something something like that. And I am just going to take another piece of string, insert it inside of there. Actually, did I insert it? No, I did not insert it. I wrapped it around almost like you're going to make like a doll head, and I am knotting that in place. I will put another piece through because that's the piece right there that is going to go through those beads, and that's how the tassel is going to stick on to the end. I'm going to double knot that as well. Make sure it's really solid because all right, so what I did here was I am taking that middle piece, I'm wrapping it around. I think it gives it a more finished look, and I like the way that turns out. I'm cutting off the ends so that they're pretty much all the same size, and now I am going to take that piece that was the center. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to make the other tassel. I counted the same amount of times that I wrapped it around, and I am putting a skewer inside to make it easier for when I put the string in the middle, because I had a little trouble the first time. I struggled a little bit trying to find that center, so that was my way to do it. I'm kind of measuring down how far I want to go to wrap around that middle piece so they kind of look even. I'm sure I'm explaining it not as good as you're seeing it. I realized I needed some more beads. I would get 3 packs just to be sure of these larger beads, and I am giving them a little coat of some tinged white paint. Add a little brown to it, and I'm just stringing those on. Now I am taking the end where the string is, and I will be putting it through the middle of that tassel, tying it in a good knot and cutting off any excess. Now I just smooth these out, and there you go. I love these beads. I still decorate with them all the time. So I'm just showing you here in a vignette how they look just hanging out of a box, and I love them. DIY number 3, Farmhouse tiered tray. I took these 2 pie pans from the Dollar Tree, and I took this candle holder that I found at a thrift store, and this wooden base that I also found at a thrift store, both of those $1, or you could get something from the Dollar Tree. I just had these and I like them. Here's some chalk paint in white from Waverly, and I give everything a good coat. I will wait for it to dry and I will give it another coat. One of these is a cake pan, which is a little deeper and smaller, and the other one is a pie pan, just a tad bit wider. Actually, I might have gotten these from the Dollar Zone, but they have these at the Dollar Tree as well. Okay, so even though that was like a frosted white, I decided to paint that white so it gives it a uniformed look. And like I said, I gave everything a good double coat. So now I am going to take some colors. Here's Hazelnut from Waverly Chalk Paint, some Mineral, which is one of my favorite colors from Waverly Chalk Paint, and a few more colors. So I just took some yellow. This is some acrylic paint from Michael's. You get a huge pack of them rather cheaply. And I am just going to start mixing some colors. I will be bringing in some browns and blacks. I don't really know what I was looking for, but I was looking for something. Again, these are just inspirations for you. You paint them any colors you want. I am just showing you what I was doing. I was kind of mixing some colors together, and in the end I love how it looked, but this is just my technique and how I did it. I was just kind of layering until I got what I wanted, and yeah. I probably should have waited a little bit because I think I kept going on top of each other when it was still wet, and I think that is why I wasn't getting the look I was aiming for, but in the end I was super happy. Now I am going to take my sponge, now I'm taking my sponge sand block from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to scuff up all of these edges to give it a good distressed farmhouse look. And it was really easy for that paint to come off, and I love how it turned out. I was wanting to make one of these for so long, and it just was so easy, and I'm so glad I was able to try it. Now I'm giving it a good wipe out to get all of that extra sanding off. And oh, now I take this little half an egg from my daughter's play food collection. And I'm going to use this at the top. I'm going to use my Fix All adhesive from the Dollar Tree and some hot glue. The hot glue will hold it instantly, and the Fix All will hold it permanently. I do love the Fix All glue. People have asked me that before. I think it is similar to the E6000 with less of the harsh odor, and I'm just giving this bottom base a good amount of that Fix All. I will add some hot glue in there too to hold it instantly. And I'm just going to lay that on top as centered as I can. So I think I decided to turn it over. Yeah, I did. Just to get a better look at where it was going. And yeah, there you go. So I just add some rice to weigh it down a bit and to let that glue set up a little better. So now I'm taking the next portion of the tiered tray. I'm using the same types of glue. I'm using the Fix All and the hot glue, and I am going to set it up right there, and then I will put the two together. First I'll use my Fix All, and I'll go back with my hot glue because the hot glue dries faster, so you want to start with your Fix All. And I will invert this and put it right in the center, or the best that I can. I don't know why I keep doing that. And there you go. Just cleaning up any excess. I know it's underneath, but I don't know. I still do that. Okay, so this little wooden piece you see here, this is from an old necklace. It is like a wooden chain that was on it, and I thought, how cool would this, and the necklace actually broke, how cool would this be to be like a little handle type thing on the top? And I thought it was kind of cool that it matched that wooden look. The one had trouble sticking on that wooden egg because it didn't have enough surface area, so I decided to glue two of those wooden ovals together, and that seemed to do the trick. And that gave me enough surface area. Oh yeah, so I tried to pick it up way too early, so that didn't work out, and I need to go back and yeah, try that again and stop touching it, right? I'm constantly like trying to like speed things up, and it just doesn't work like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is invert this piece, add the glue on, the same glues that I used before, the Fix All and the hot glue, and I will just invert this right on top, and I need to stop playing with it. Okay. And I wanted to use something that had a smaller base so that I could fit more decorative objects inside. I'm going to lay this on top carefully. There we go. And I'm going to continue working on that little knob handle that you find at the top of a lot of tiered trays. So I am going to take, I used some paint markers to distress it a bit. And now I am taking hot glue, and I actually think I used the super glue here because I knew it would dry really, really fast. I'm cleaning up any excess with a skewer. I'm going to hold it there for a second. Now I'm going to put on my Fix All hot glue and push it right into the center. And there you go. I like to go around with skewers sometimes because it adds that little point, and I can clean up any mess. Okay, now I'm going to show you that when you are going to clean up with any type of adhesive, that especially strong adhesives, make sure you use some Vaseline. It will make it much easier to take the cap off the next time. I am taking this succulent from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to decorate my tiered tray with it. I have another one from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to leave that clip right on there in case I want to use it at another time. And some other Dollar Tree items that I just decided to decorate with. And I love how it turned out. And I'm so glad I was able to make this. So here you can see set up in my basement along my egress window. And I just love how it turned out. DIY number 4, Dollar Tree Farmhouse lantern. I took this metallic Rustoleum paint and it is very metal looking. I took a bunch of different sized box frames from the Dollar Tree. I found as many as I could that were kind of ranging in sizes, and I am giving them all a good coat of that, it looks like an oil rubbed bronze. This is like a tube from, I don't even know what that was from, but I wanted to use that at the top as the handle holder, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. So I gave that a good painting as well. So now I am taking 4 of these 5x7 frames from the Dollar Tree. I will take out the glass and the back of them, and you know those little pins that kind of hold everything in. I took those out with some pliers as well. I gave them a light coat of that oil rub bronze just so it would match the rest of it. I am going to take some of that hot glue and some Fix-All, and I'm going to hold it together and put it in my square to make sure I have square edges. So I'm just running it along and just holding it in place a minute for it to set up. And you can see I keep moving my square around. That square is from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm using that Gorilla Glue right there to hold that in place so nothing is falling over. So I am taking one of those box frames and I'm going to attach it to the other box frame with the same glues, the Fix-All. Actually, that wasn't the Fix-All. That was the super glue, I think. That holds really quickly, again from the Dollar Tree. And here is that plastic tube. I'm using some hot glue and some of that super glue, and I'm going to lay that right on. I like using that super glue when I want something to adhere very quickly. So now I am taking this lid from the tin can. I will put it at the base of the lantern, and that is to put any candles on or something like that. I'm taking the sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree and I'm trying to get off some extra glue. These skewers are also from the Dollar Tree. I decide to give them a quick stain of brown so that I can put them in those little ridges right there. Do you see where those 2 frames meet up? Yeah, that was bothering me that I could see glue in there. So to cover that up, I decided to just kind of put some glue right on that edge and lay them in there. And I gave it a really cool effect. I liked how it gave it dimension, but it also covered that glue. And I'm doing that in the inside as well. And now I'm going over just with that same metallic oil rubbed bronze, just to kind of cover anything up that needed to be covered up. Okay, so now I'm just going to attach everything together. I'm using some of that super glue and hot glue. These clips are from the Dollar Tree, and that just kind of held everything in place while it dried. I'm showing you here how I'm decorating it. I'm using that same greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby in the garland. I'm putting it around a battery candle from the Dollar Tree and some little pumpkins and gourds because I used this during the fall season and I just love how it turned out. I will show you after the next DIY how it looks all together because I actually displayed them together. DIY number 5, Dollar Tree hanging baskets. So I used this same metallic oil rubbed bronze Rustoleum from Home Depot and these universal tool hooks from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to give them a good coating and let them dry, and then I went back and gave them a second coat. I really love this paint, but it takes a very long time to dry. Next, take this floor mop and give it a double coat of that oil rubbed bronze, just the handle, and I'm taking these brads from the Dollar Tree. I will give them the same coat with that oil rubbed bronze. These baskets, I took 3 of them from the Dollar Tree. I'm just taking off the handles right now to get them situated with these bungee cords. So these bungee cords are from the Dollar Tree and I just need those hooks, and that is how I'm going to attach those baskets along with these zip ties to that rod that we just painted. So there we go. The zip ties are going to hold that bungee cord hook on, and don't worry, I'll be cutting those off, and it's black so you don't really even notice them. This is my way of hanging the basket to the actual rod. So I did that 3 times. And you have enough bungee cords to in one bag to be able to do that. So I'm taking these wooden knobs from Habitat for Humanity Restore, and I decided to use the Waverly Chalk wax and antique wax, and it did not stay on because I guess there was a coating on it. So I went back with just some regular Waverly Chalk paint and truffle, and that did the trick. So I am taking this string because the ends were like a little rough on the one side because I couldn't get off the end, so I wanted to cover that up. And it also gave me a place where the wooden knob could adhere a little better too, so I just wrapped that string from the Dollar Tree right around the edge, and now I'm taking that wooden knob and I'm going to put it right there and glue that in place. I'm just going to take some of that brown paint and cover some of that up. Now, these universal hooks from the Dollar Tree, they bend super easy. So I was able to bend them right around that rod so they wouldn't move around. I'm taking some burlap fabric that I've had. I'm putting it right inside of those baskets and just laying it in, all 3 of them. Then I'm going to take some flowers and greenery from the Dollar Tree. These are some Queen Anne's lace, and I will make little bunches of them, wrap them with string, and put them right down inside of those baskets. You could put anything you want in these baskets, but I loved how this looked, and it kind of just gave my front entrance a very rustic, almost like flower store type look, and I really loved the effect it gave it. I needed to cut those down a bit so they laid in those baskets a little better, and that was it. And then I attached them to my wall, and there is the lantern along with those hanging baskets, and I loved how these turned out. And here's the final reveal of some of my favorite farmhouse DIYs using some Dollar Tree products. Here is my cloche. I absolutely love this. I just think it is very farmhouse and very cute. I love my farmhouse beads, use them all the time, and I don't think I'm going to get rid of those anytime soon. Here's the tier tray, along with 2 of my other favorites, the lantern and the hanging baskets. Tell me below which one's your favorite. I think I'm going to go with either the cloche or the lantern. You tell me below which one's yours. So that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, please do so. Share some of the things you have been making. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow. And subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye. So that's it. That's the end of my video. Oh no, I don't want to start with that. Again, one take. Short and sweet.